watching T Radio V, radio in TV.
Hello and welcome to the Street Angel Show on T Radio V, right in the heart of Hollywood. Today is an awesomely cool episode. We're going to be talking about all sorts of cool stuff related to meditation, kundalini yoga, exercise, and probably some other surprise stuff we'll just throw at you. So let me introduce myself. My name is Mandelyn Reese. If you haven't been with the show before, I am known as the LA Street Angel or the Street Angel. I wear random size angel wings, if you can see them, and I promote kindness, positive messages, and I'm just trying to get people reconnected, being nice and kind and polite and tolerant, considerate of each other again. So that's me. My MO is like, where's Waldo? I just kind of run around and make appearances and surprise people. So the purpose of this talk show in general is to help others. You, the audience, as well as the people I have on here, because I've chosen them because they're really positive, upbeat people. They have a lot to share. They help others. And so it's a really good collaboration, that the reason I chose these people. So basically, we're talking about yoga, meditation, exercise. Let me introduce my guests for today. I have them here. First, we have Stephen Muzzonigro.
Hello.
Here to my left. There we go. And he is the Kundalini yoga master. Yay. And he does these really cool classes. I met him, I think, on Facebook. Does that sound accurate?
That's accurate.
I don't know how we got connected on Facebook, but I ended up invited to one of his classes. And let me tell you, it's a higher level experience. It was one of the more challenging ones that I've ever tried. But let me tell you, it activated some DNA cellular level. I felt so pumped and alive. And some of these like breath techniques you do, I was like, I don't know if I can hold my breath that long, but somehow I did. But really cool classes. We'll go way deeper into Stephen and his classes and all that stuff in segment 2, so hang in there. And here, across from me, is Dustin Conrad. Woo! So this is the bands and body guru. He is master at stretching the body and multi-limb resistance technique. He works in Santa Monica, and I met him in Instagram. I don't remember. I think because I had a hashtag Santa Monica, and somehow you had hired a guy who liked stuff. But yeah, I ended up going to some of his free beach classes, which are so cool. You get really your butt kicked, let me tell you, and then you're like wiped out, but you feel good. And then he sometimes follows it up with these breathwork classes on the beach, which are really nice, like breathwork meditation. So this is why I chose these two guys. They are light workers. They help others. They've found their cool purpose in their own unique way to really bring a lot of light and help people and just keep them healthy and activate stuff that, maybe motivate people in ways that they need to be motivated. So does that sound pretty accurate?
Yes.
Like you've kind of found your purpose in a way to contribute?
For sure.
So something I wanted to show you to kind of start why I wanted to do this is you as a person are mind, body, soul, right? And if you haven't heard of the artist Alex Grey, I suggest you look him up because he's kind of the Picasso artist of our time. And he has, I got one of his books recently, Sacred Mirrors, and can you see that kind of sort of? And he does these gigantic huge paintings. So this is like your chakra system, energy system, how you're connected to everything. And you can look this up on Google really easily, but I actually got to meet him a week and a half ago or something, and he signed my book for me. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
So really cool guy. He has some amazing artwork. I can't even elaborate enough on that. But you got to go check it out so that you can kind of see how your aura extends beyond you, your energy field, and you affect others. Your energy centers in your body, why you need to balance and clear them and get grounded to help you in life and discover your purpose and all that good stuff. So I have a couple of little tools I wanted to kind of go over with you, like basic meditation for beginners techniques. So you hear the word meditation thrown around a lot, right? But you don't really you kind of just imagine somebody sitting there like, oh, but there's actually that can be more into it than just sitting there in silence. Now with me, I'm kind of sensitive, I don't know about you guys, to sound and like light and stuff.
Become progressively more sensitive as these years have gone on,
Yeah,
for sure.
I've been sensitive my whole life. I literally, when I meditate, this is just me, everybody's different. Some people like rock and roll music, but for me, when I meditate, I put in earplugs and a little eye mask, and I turn kind of the lights really dim. But I like to keep a journal next to me because sometimes I'll download some really profound ideas or thoughts or things that I want to do, or a to-do list or whatever. Like, I just like to write down if I have something urgently that comes to me. Because sometimes, thoughts come in your mind and go straight out, and you're like, wait, what did I just think? I had a really good idea, and it's gone now.
That's super important. That's super important to write that down.
Yeah, journal.
Stream of consciousness, you won't always be able to retain it. So
exactly.
It's super important that you do that.
Yeah, I like how you use that exact line. Stream of consciousness. Like, you can tap into some higher levels of consciousness sometimes, and some of it's really divinely inspired ideas. And I guess I'll ask you in the next segment, but I was like, how did you get into what you do? But one thing that helps with meditating, some people like to do chanting, and what chanting does, I know it sounds weird and religious, but it's really not. Chanting helps to raise your vibration. It uses verbal vibration to calm your body, and it kind of makes your cells move a little more faster. And so a really good one is Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. And I don't know, let's see what camera I can use that. It's kind of spelled funny. There. Can you see it?
Try saying that one 10 times fast.
So, do you know what that means? I kind of forgot.
I don't know that
I think
one.
I can't. It has a meaning, but it's a really powerful chant that helps raise your vibration. And these beads, kind of like Buddhist beads or India beads, and there's 108. And the colors coordinate to the different colors of your chakras. And you got red for the root and clear for the crown, and on and on. But there's 108. It's a sacred number, and you basically do the chant 108 times, and you keep track of it by moving the beads through your fingers until you reach the other end. So that's one way. If you want a really kind of a powerful energy clearing chant, you can do the bead way with the chant. But one of my absolute favorite, super easy, basic meditations is just doing Om. Have y'all tried that one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Or Hugh, and I kind of alternate them. But if you do those over and over, just like you get really stressed out from something, or in your mind's just going a million miles an hour, or maybe you just need some like clarity on something and calm your body down, sit in a nice comfy chair, put on your earplugs and eye mask, and just do some chanting like Om or Hugh, or alternate them. Like when I do it, I can literally feel these vibration waves moving through my aura. And then I feel like my body feels more healed and grounded and calm and connected to source. So something you can do to feel more grounded is imagine roots going down through your feet into Mother Earth, and then you can send negative energies you're feeling, like worry and fear, down these roots, and just let Mother Earth handle it. And then with your crown chakra connected to all that is source, God, creator, whatever you want to call it, but you'll feel more anchored and centered, grounded. And do you have any more comments elaborate on that? Like,
Well, yeah, I think a lot of times there's a perception that we have to always go up, 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 and in yoga, I think that's what's sorely missing. Well, that's what I've learned a lot recently. It's come to my consciousness recently, is to ground it down. So it's beautiful what you said, actually. We're missing that aspect, that piece of the puzzle where we're rooting into Mother Earth, right? We have the 7 chakras, we're always going up, up, up.
Right.
Especially in kundalini, but there's this really, there's a profound power when we root into Mother Earth, and to send those roots down, like you said.
Yeah.
So you can release that negativity out through the crown into the great central sun, or whatever you wish to use, or down into the earth.
Any way you want to do it, just send it out of your body, because the more negativity you hold in, it affects your physical being. Your organs get your stomach especially is super sensitive to stress. You know, that's why a lot of people walk around with pot bellies. I'm not just talking about, you know, chocolate and beer here.
Yeah.
A lot of cortisol is
Mm-hmm.
it's a stress hormone, and it really shows in around, you know, the spare tire, as they say. So the more stress you're under, the more you might have that showing. So, and that's a good reason why, you know, connect with these two guys. You know, they can help, you know, kick your butt with some yoga. Yeah, there we go, teamwork. With some yoga and some meditation and some kundalini activating and breath work on the beach. So there was some more stuff I wanted to go through. Oh, something you wanted to do, if free meditations are available on YouTube. It's like, you have no excuse to not meditate, even if it's like 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes. I mean, some people spend more time on the toilet, you know? Just go and like sit and meditate. And you can use all kinds of free meditations on YouTube. There's like kundalini activating, chakra clearing. There's like just a ton. And then the guests I've had on previous shows, they have a lot of free meditations on their websites. So, and my last episode, if you watched it, at the very end, segment 3, there was a meditation that was for free, like 10-minute long with Stephanie Ann Lodge. So you can go do that. But
and I think also it's like there's no wrong way to do it, and people get so caught up in these rules. You know, like if I open my eyes, I'm breaking the meditation rules.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Exactly. That's the other big piece of like we're moving from the Piscean age into the Aquarian age, right? And so we're letting go of dogma, of rules, and all that. And that's there is no right way. The right way is the way that's inside of you. We have all the answers inside. The end. Like there's no more, nothing to follow any longer, right?
Exactly.
We have the guidance inside. If we tap in, we just got to get quiet and leave a little space so that we can hear that inner voice. You know?
Make your own way. Make your own
It's true.
meditation technique. I mean, these are just tips and random tools. I mean, I'm not diagnosed with anything, but sometimes I feel a little like ADD, like I just want to go 100 miles an hour, and I'm like, I got to do this, and I got to do that, and I'm working on this, and I'm like, wait, like, so meditation kind of helps you just calm down for 5 seconds.
They call that the monkey brain.
Well, how many people here have it, you know?
We all
it's
do.
like,
We all do.
We're infected.
Well,
we all have the monkey brain for sure.
yeah, Anna Bliss on my last show, I like what she called it, something about I totally just brain farted and it like went out of my head. That's what I'm talking about. You like, but she said something about it really cool. If it comes to me, I'll tell you.
Okay.
But okay, beginner meditation, recommend earplugs, eye mask. I can't remember what else I was going to talk about. Can we go to commercial? I'm like, I totally forgot what I was going to do. I'm like, crazy. See, this is what I'm talking about. ADD. You know, it's like.
If you would have done your meditation this morning, no, I'm kidding.
Well, I tried to ground myself right before I was like that. But hey, when we. Yeah, and we're back. Woo! Welcome back to the Street Angel Show on T Radio V in Hollywood. So we were talking about meditation, and I was giving you some kind of basic starter tips and little tools. And now we're going to dive into one of my first guests, Stephen Muzzonigro. And he lives in Los Angeles, California, and he works at Indigo Yoga Studio.
Yep.
And he hosts really awesome, epic classes. We have some pictures of this we can show as I'm talking about it. But, I mean, some of these pictures I see of your classes are, like, epic. I mean, they're just like, wow, the view is incredible.
Yeah.
So tell us, how did you get into what you do with the meditation and yoga and kundalini?
From the inception or like kundalini?
However you want to lead into it.
Well, I'll just briefly say, I believe everyone has like this their life calling. And so from a little kid, I was the little kid going in the back of magazines, checking out like, amulets and witchcraft and all that. I was always like, whoa,
Curious.
all that stuff. Yeah, so from a 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 7-year-old, I was always super curious. And thankfully to my Aunt Bonnie, she gave me my first spiritual book at 14, which was Wisdom of the Mystic Masters. So, and we would do like free writing. So she would do free writing and like the spirits would write through her. And I was doing this at a young, teenage,
That's so cool. You had an early exposure like that.
Yeah, and then it was just, but beyond that, it was just an inner calling. It was something that I came in with, something much larger than me. And I was spiritual my whole teenage, and then into my early 20s, and then at 22 I had this big breakup. And at 22, like I was distraught. It was this girlfriend. I was like, oh, my life is ruined, all this stuff. But it was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go dive in now as an adult into all the things that I've dabbled with for all those years as a teenager, and that started my adult journey at 22, like where I actively, consciously started to pursue. So. You know, over 20-something years.
What is it about breakups that can just shake your
core?
core?
I was a 22-year-old little punk, and I invested so much in this woman, and it was heartache and all this crazy
Same thing
stuff.
happened to me at 21.
Yeah.
But I had an Aunt Bonnie too.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Yeah, she's a white witch.
What is? Oh,
Yeah, like-
I've heard of that.
yeah,
a
she's-
good witch,
yeah, a
like
great
basically.
witch,
Like,
yeah.
does she do like little love spells? And
She
stuff?
does everything. She's amazing.
That's
Yeah.
so cool that
Yeah.
you had that exposure. I kind of wish I did. I didn't have it till I moved to LA.
But right, that's all part of the setup. We all come down here. We have our guides. We have our assistants, and we've kind of helped each other along the way. You know, it's my dad's brother's wife, and it was great that we could have that little connection. You know, they didn't live. I lived in New York, and they lived in Wisconsin and California. But when we got together, it was always like Ouija board or whatever,
Yeah.
free writing
just
or whatever.
checking it out, curiosity, right?
So anyway, that was the lead in, and then Kundalini was on my lifelong quest. At I was 27, I was living a suburban life in New York, man. Totally, completely isolated from any of this new age stuff. None of that. It was just
New
like
York City?
I was Long Island at the time.
Okay.
And you're sheltered off from everything. But if your calling is there, you're going to attract it into you.
Right,
So
it just happens.
So I found Kundalini at 27. I did a class, and by chance, and there's this once a year they offer White Tantric, which is like the highest form of Kundalini. That's the highest vibration. And
I haven't tried that yet.
Yeah, they offer it once a year around the world at the major cities. So it just by chance.
You stumbled into it?
No, I took a class on Kundalini on a Tuesday. He goes, oh, by chance, this Sunday is White Tantric. So I did one class of Kundalini and stepped into their most advanced
Oh
practice.
my goodness. They were just meant for that.
Yeah, and that was it. And then
Okay, tell the audience, what does Kundalini energy mean? Everybody has it, so
Yeah.
this is the education moment.
Yeah, well, Kundalini, there's a lot of ways you can explain it, but ultimately it's creative infinity. It's the creative life force. It's our sexual life force that's inside of us. It's the way we express our creativity. It's housed in our spine, actually, right in our solar plex chakra, and it goes down. And
In the root chakra, too?
It actually activates and goes down and comes up the Shushmana, which is the central nerve channel. But Kundalini is our creative life force.
Right.
And
is it also called Chi? Is that, or is that different?
It's not the exact same thing.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Similar.
Yeah, it's a similar thing.
Okay.
But so Kundalini is what we awaken inside of us so that we can awaken into our fullest potential. And it lies dormant within us until we're ready. It's right. It makes the journey from the base of the spine up into our crown. It's right. It's the serpent that's climbing up. Right. We want to move from our root chakra up into our heart chakra. Right. So we're no longer leading from that primal force, which is in our second chakra. You know, so much of the world is polarized by sexuality and possessiveness and greed, and we move up into that heart space. So we want to move up and then continue the process up through the throat, into the third eye, into the crown, where we start to reach into our enlightened states.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, I like how you said the Kundalini lies dormant until
Yes.
it's activated. Because let me tell you, when I moved to LA and I started taking healing classes, meditations, it activated that. And I felt like it was kind of weird because I felt kind of like a teenage boy. I was like, like I didn't know what to do with this energy. But it was really cool because I channeled it into the Angel Project.
Exactly.
And I just like, it boomed.
That's it. That's your creativity. And then once you start to move it up, and you have to be careful with Kundalini too, because you've heard of some spontaneous people have through stressful situations, right, when they can be faced with death or illness or a really stressful, like mother with their child, they can have spontaneous, but it's dangerous because it can blow the circuitry in your brain if the wiring is not set up properly inside of your body.
Really? Is that like an aneurysm or something could happen?
No, insanity.
Oh my God.
And it's perceived as insanity in this world because the person can no longer interact with the physical 3D reality. But in essence, they're actually clicked on another wavelength. They're just blowing the brain, which is our operating system. So you don't want to do it too quickly. That's the beauty of Kundalini Yoga. It's a progressive practice that slowly opens up our nerve channel. We have that Shushmana, that's the central nerve channel. We have the Ida Pingala on the both sides, the negative and the positive. And we just gently, constantly pull up that energy up the spine. And so this slow progression opens up our nerve fibers and our nervous system and our endocrine system. And to answer the question fully, Kundalini Yoga works with our endocrine system and our nervous system. And when we apply a pressure to the endocrine system and through mantra, through pranayams, through breath work, and the kriyas that we do, we bring the energy that necessary to, it brings a sensitivity. They meet in the brain, and it gives us the sensitivity to open up to the wholeness of who we are. So it's basically, it's just a science. It's not a religion. It's just a pure science of working with our endocrine system, with our nervous system, and how they correlate with the mind, making us more aware.
And it's kind of an unfolding. It's not necessarily a rushed process. You kind of go through what you're ready for, right?
Exactly.
And what you choose. Like if you choose to go to a class, you know, maybe you're meant to be at that class at that time because that's what you're ready for.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I would say what you do is pretty advanced because I've tried a lot of different meditation stuff around LA, and his was definitely very advanced, but very powerful. So I can see what you mean by if, like, let's say just a super beginner's never done it before, just shows up, they might be, I don't know if they'd feel out of place or a little lost, but because some of the terms you use, I mean, a lot of people from my hometown, they might not know what a chakra is or kundalini. That's why we're like, okay, this is what it is. Chakra centers are energy centers in your body, you know.
A big thing that we say about kundalini is that, you know, you don't have to even worry about any of the words. You don't have to know about the mantras. You don't have to know about anything. It goes back to about the rules and stuff like that. Is ultimately we say what happens. You go to a kundalini class and you leave, and what happens? You have an experience of yourself, and you feel better about yourself, and that's all you need to worry about. So you don't have to worry about the words. You don't have to know what's going on. We all like that.
You feel better. You feel better about yourself and how to handle life and balance your body.
Yeah.
What book? You said you were co-authoring a book.
Yes.
What's it about?
Well, it's not necessarily related to kundalini, but it's something complete. Well, everything's related, but I'm co-authoring a book with my partner. She lives in Madrid. It's something very, very special something very powerful that we will be revealing to the world when the time is ready.
Okay, so
but it's a book about love. It's a book about that discusses how the universe is alive.
Everything's alive.
It talks, meaning, the universe is alive and reacting with us. Discussing also about, I'll just briefly mention, you know, the corruption of humanity and the way what's happened to humanity and our journey. And it's similar. It is similar to Kundalini in a sense, right? It's a journey back to love, right? We're moving from this primal, you know, fight or flight and fighting for us survival, moving to this heart space and moving
trying
to
work
unity
together.
consciousness.
That's what I've been doing, like trying to just get people reconnected, work together, and like caring about each other again.
So the book is a book for the world to help elevate the consciousness, to help move the world into an understanding of love and the way the universe works.
That's really
and
cool.
to bring ultimately to help bring the change to the planet that we're so dire need of this change we're on the precipice of all this destruction and deception.
You said it. There's an awakening and enlightening kind of for humanity going on.
Massive one, and I mean, you're feeling it. We're all feeling it. It's the waves of consciousness, and
people are reacting in different ways because some people don't know how to handle these blasts of light, and literally the Earth's change a pulse has changed. The magnetic field is changing, so it's affecting every living being.
Exactly.
It's affecting the polarization, the weather patterns. It's affecting everything.
Exactly.
People just don't realize it. So we're telling you right now.
So and so you said there's people listening who might not know about that. That's fine, but guess what? Guess how it starts? It starts. You hear it on a TV show, or you hear it on a radio show. It starts somewhere. It plants a seed. But this is the awakening consciousness. You know, the Earth is in trouble. We have all this animal agriculture that's decimating the planet. We have agriculture. We have business. You know, the economic structure, the money system, the politics. Everything's on the brink of collapse. Right? We're at this moment. I think we, as a collective, can feel that we're at this moment, at this brink, where we need to either we come together, and we step into this unity consciousness, how we can all contribute to the collective. Or, you know, the future does not look so good.
We don't have no idea where it's going.
We don't. Well, we do. We by our belief, and we speak in the I am. So we believe and speak as if it's already occurred, and step out of doubt and step out of fear. So we're being called to step and walk away from fear, and step into our truth. Ultimately, step into ourselves. And we have kundalini, we're talking about meditation and all these things, but ultimately the most important thing we can do at this time is show up as our true self.
Right.
The single most important thing.
Be yourself.
Is to be your unique expression of yourself. And
we're all multifaceted.
right. So
unique.
Awakening your kundalini, but that assists us in igniting and allowing you or giving you the desire, the inspiration to express your unique talent expression, because so many of us are trying so hard, so diligently to try to copy and to be fit in.
Right.
And that just gives more people the same, and we need everyone's creative, unique expression. So that this is what, if anyone could take, I would say, for anything away from, from the show today, is for you to stand true in your truth. And to know your power lies within yourself. And you can do it. You know, Kundalini is an incredible scientific tool to help you, but it's beyond that. It's just really stepping into your truth and knowing that the world is waiting for what you have. No matter how large, tiny, big, small it is,
Yeah,
it's
everybody
it's
matters.
Perfect. Exactly. Someone picks up your garbage and you need it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'd have accumulation. And that guy's perfect. And for him, he's got benefits and a great job, and he can support. It's like, it's a perfect round model.
Yeah,
you know?
when a person's contributing and being productive, the universe takes care
Conspires,
of them.
yeah.
You know, whatever they're doing, whatever purpose that they have, whether it might seem minuscule to one person, but very great to the universe, you know, everything matters. And so anybody who's, you know, out there really struggling to seek acceptance and love, you know, first tap into getting it within yourself, and just know that source and creation, like the universe, like loves you for who you are. You were created for a reason. You were created as a unique, multifaceted being, and you're like a little star, a fractal. Like if you really knew like how tiny we are on the scope of the universe, and yet we matter. We have consciousness. We have so much talent and beauty. If you really like put the spotlight on anybody, there's just so much uniqueness and coolness and you know hidden stuff about them.
And you have a purpose, and it's your job to get in touch with what your purpose is, whatever that is.
Yeah.
And it's not the easiest, because we have the monkey brain, the chattering mind, we have society, we have to fit in, we believe that we have to make a lot of money, and we put money in the exterior empowerment in front of our interior empowerment. So when we step, that's ultimately that's where it's at. It's when we put the value in what our purpose is, and understanding that once we step into that, all the universe will come flooding in, like you said earlier.
Yeah.
The universe will conspire in a magnificent way when you step into your purpose and then trust and believe it.
Trust and have faith.
Yeah.
You do charity work too, right?
I do.
Feed the homeless?
Yeah, I do. I'm very fortunate to be a part of the Greater West Hollywood Food Coalition. It's an incredible organization. You guys can look it up, GWHFC, Greater West Hollywood Food Coalition. And wow, it's just a tremendous opportunity. They've been serving food for the last 27 years, once a night, right here in West Hollywood.
That is
an
so
incredible, cool. And Ted Landreth heads it up, and it's just an incredible organization of giving beings committed to serving the homeless and the needy of West Hollywood, of the local area. It's really a beautiful experience.
I've told him I want to join sometime and
Anytime,
just check
you're
it out,
welcome,
because you know, feeding the homeless, it's a good team effort and really rewarding, and you know, we get to interact. So when we come back from this commercial, we're going to be diving into talking to Dustin Conrad with Bands and Body. So stick with us, and we'll be right back after this.
You are watching T Radio V, radio in TV.
Hello, and welcome back to the Street Angel Show on T Radio V Hollywood. And we're going to be talking to Dustin Conrad. And I met him through Instagram and did some awesome exercising on the beach. Now, Dustin's special in a way. He's designed his very own like body stretching technique, and with a band, and it's really effective at helping your body. And so he has videos. If you don't live in Santa Monica or Los Angeles, California, he has videos online and Instagram clips that, and you can order his band on his website, right? So let's take it over here to Dustin. And How did you get into this fitness and stuff?
Well, fitness, it's kind of a long story, but just to be kind of simple and short about it, basically I was on the total other side of the tracks and practicing the opposite of health. And I was a drug addict. And what happened ultimately was I ruptured 2 heart valves, shooting up crystal meth.
Wow.
And I had to have open heart surgery.
Wow.
And, you know, that was like, there was a whole nother kind of opening of the heart that took place after that. I got into like giving back, working on myself, becoming healthy, you know, all the things that go along with like being positive, feeling good, and contributing. And
How long ago was this like change for you?
that was, let's see, 11 years ago. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And you've been doing the exercise and the stretching for how long? Like,
That is about 6 years now. Yeah.
cool. You started in Venice.
Yep. Grew up in Calabasas, moved to Venice,
Cool.
got started out there. Now I'm in Santa Monica and
Yeah.
just loving every minute of it. It's the best.
So we have some pictures of your technique and classes that we brought. We got a whole bunch of cool stuff. So basically, you use these in groups. It's like these bands, and you really get a good workout, and it's so fun because you're actually working with the resistance from other people.
Yeah.
And it's working your biceps and your triceps, and you're doing squats, and you're getting like a full body burn going on.
Yeah.
So you can look a lot more at bandsandbody.com, and you can order one of these bands and do this at home in the comfort of your own house.
Yeah.
And
that's the best part about it, the
Yeah.
portability and diversity of what you can do.
It's a small, do you have it with you? It's like a small, I actually brought mine in somewhere. But it's a band, and you can just throw it in your car or your gym bag. You can take it to the gym, and I know it's really helped me, like especially feel like tone up my biceps and thighs and everything like that. So yeah, you stand on it or you wrap it around your foot. And did you develop this yourself?
You know, these are just standard bands, flat resistance
right.
bands that you use in physical therapy. And what I've done is I've attached a handle to it.
Which is
and
so helpful.
The reason that we use the flat ones is because, you know, the technique is called multi-limb resistance training, which basically it means that you're training your body as a system, moving multiple body parts, counter resistance, opposite directions. And the reason we use the flat bands is because with the tubular ones, they just will roll off. You can't do the diversity of movement that you can with the flat ones. So, yeah.
How did you develop the multi-limb resistance training technique?
You know, I feel like it just kind of, I committed myself to using resistance bands. I actually used to work with seniors and teaching classes and stuff. And, you know, I feel like I've always been a very creative person. And, you know, when I was confining myself to one modality, I feel like it enabled me to really get more creative with it. I had them doing teamwork, partner stuff like you saw in the pictures.
Yeah.
And then,
well, and it blew up. I mean, he's been featured on the front page of the Santa Monica newspaper twice.
Yeah.
And then you've led 7,000 person classes somewhere. Where was that?
Downtown LA, one on the promenade in Santa Monica with a few thousand. And
yeah, I mean, that's kind of epic. He's actually pretty well known down in Santa Monica. You can just be walking along this boardwalk and pier and see him doing his classes and personal training. And so you do classes and individual, right?
Private and semi-private formats of training. I do online webcam training and travel training. I have a guy who goes to homes and, you know, so there's no excuse.
And you do a night glow class. We have a picture of that somewhere. Oh, it's so cool. Like he has it's almost like a mini little rave, but it's like a workout, and it's really high energy. Looks really cool. It's like a light up. You have little like lights on your.
Actually, these are the medium strength bands.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh yeah, there we are.
That is right there in front of Santa Monica Pier. Live picture. I've been a part of one of those, and it was really fun. And the weather was perfect that day. Sometimes it can be a little cold, but once you work out, you get hot anyway.
That's a highly photoshopped picture to illuminate the bands to give you the effect, but it's nothing like if you go to the website and watch the video, you can really see what goes on.
Well, it's pretty accurate. I mean, it might be a little Photoshop, but to me, I know what it looks like there. So that's pretty an accurate representation of how cool the glow night
it's
classes.
A lot of
so
fun.
If you live in LA or Santa Monica, I highly recommend you check out Dustin Conrad's classes and you develop some specific techniques that he wants to actually patent because you created them. They're so specific and unique.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
the helicopter.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Like you showed me a few of them.
Yeah. A
What
whole
are some
series. They're
others?
called advanced movements, and so I title them, interesting names, but names that kind of,
They're
remind
fun.
you of what they look like.
Yeah.
So, we have the cheerleader, the transformer.
That's the one I remember.
The
I was
circler,
like-
the twister.
Yeah,
and-
I saw him doing it, and I was like, yeah, there's no way I can do the transformer. You're like hopping and like bouncing, and I'm like, that would like snap
Yeah.
my leg off.
I think
But it was cool.
Oh, that's the transformer.
Oh,
right
yeah.
there.
That's a video. There's
There
videos
we
that
go.
you have.
Yeah, this is some of my, I did a commercial for Fox 13. I had a little spot.
Oh, you
Yeah.
did?
Nice.
That is
So,
so cool.
This is
yeah.
part of that. Yeah, that's it.
Good job,
Cool.
guys. You found the video.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is on his website. So you have a 30-day money-back guarantee.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's really cool.
If anyone is not satisfied or not getting the results that they want, I back it up with a guarantee. So
Right. I just like how you're really devoted to helping people. And
Yeah.
like, he genuinely cares, about a person's progress and health, and he'll give you random tips and nutrition stuff. He made me some like awesome protein brownies
Oh, yeah.
to die for.
definitely.
You should patent that.
Yeah.
Whatever it was. I was
All
like,
these patents, just throw
"Whoa,
them.
yeah, just here you go.
Yeah.
But there were, like, what do you offer exactly?
So just 3 types of training. It's webcam training, semi-private training, and then private trainings, which is semi-private and private, and then in-home training. Really.
Okay, so people can actually work out with you on Skype.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I have lots of clients that are not anywhere in the vicinity or area. That
I had no idea.
work
That's
them out
so
on webcam.
cool.
Or if they travel, then they get to see me during their vacations.
Nice. Yeah. See, I live pretty close to Santa Monica, so we go and we do like these like personal training and trades and stuff like that, and I get to go to his classes, and so it's kind of like live work. So that's why I know the benefit. So
Yeah.
listen to us. It really is good stuff.
Definitely.
But so what would you want to ask about your breath work on the beach?
Uh-huh.
You do that every time?
Just
Or
during the summers.
summers.
Kind of
Oh,
a
'cause
nice way
it's-
to wind down from a workout. We'll go and walk down onto the actual sand and just do a series of different breathing techniques that I feel help to emphasize, the way to breathe a little bit more efficiently. And, we live in a very shallow breathing society, so help to deepen the breath, help to learn different techniques that we can do on our own. And
Yeah, some of them, the breath techniques you did were more almost like kundalini activated.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They
there's
were kind
that
of
breath
more
of fire.
Yeah,
one,
breath of fire,
yeah.
kind of more powerful, fast
Yeah.
breath. Really but then you kind of follow it up with for if you want the peaceful, relaxing,
Yeah.
lay down and just take in the beach noises, and it's so you should check it out
Serene.
sometime.
Yeah,
if you're
definitely.
into the
Definitely.
breath work and yoga, check out one
Yeah,
of his
That's really cool.
things.
yeah.
We should all go.
Yeah,
it'd
we
be
should
a
do it.
big
Let's do it
group
right now.
thing. Yeah. So tell me, what is your favorite thing about exercising?
Personally, I would have to say, it's the feeling that I get of being in my body, controlling, and I feel like that's the biggest benefit of multi-limb resistance training is that it really, it has this emphasis on coordination and dictating where your limbs are going. If you've seen it, it's kind of like a graceful, more fluid type of training technique, and it really I feel like it gets you in touch with your body, and we live in a society that we get so out of touch with our body.
Right.
So it's the mind-muscle connection, and also just the idea of infusing breath with movement. You breathe along with the movement, and it's just I don't know. I feel like it's a time for me to detach. It's a time for me to get to know my body and learn a new technique, because
Right.
a lot of when I'm doing it on my own, a lot of time I'm practicing, creating these advanced movements and different ways of, moving the body with the bands and stuff. So
Yeah, I love how I happen to meet you both, and you both do similar type things to really get you connected, mind, body, spirit,
Yeah,
address
yeah.
all of these things. So what would you say, how much should people meditate or exercise? I guess you both can kind of,
yeah.
what do you recommend?
I'd say 30 minutes. The Heart Association recommends 30 minutes a day, and it doesn't have to be insane exercise. You can go for a walk. You can
Staircase.
It's staircase,
Or
yeah.
something.
Anything that's gonna get your heart rate up and
Right. Move your muscles a little.
move you and stir some stuff up. I
Right.
just wrote this whole blog and video about, or I guess they call it a vlog now,
Right.
of how important it is to not let your body get stagnant. We
Yeah.
need to be moving around.
So many people with these desk jobs,
Yeah.
and they're sitting there. I used to have that. 8 or 9 hours a day you're stuck at a
It's
desk in a
terrible.
cubicle, and
Makes
you're,
your body toxic.
yeah, you really gotta move.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta get up, walk around, stretch your legs, or you
Yeah.
feel like you get like atrophied or like overweight, or like it can just, you get stressed.
I think it's important to add that element of just the meditation, whether it's Vedic or Vipassana or some
Yeah.
sort of meditation, so you balance out the body with the mind, and really,
Definitely.
so.
And taking a moment for yourself, and it's all it goes, what we're talking about is self-care,
Right.
giving ourselves some attention, and it's good to give back. It's good to like be in the world and connect, but at the same time, I feel it's very important to have the balance of like self-care as well.
Nurturing is,
Nurturing, exactly.
Those are the key words of the show: balance and self-care. You've got to be able to take care of yourself, especially if you're taking care of other people, whether it's like your kids or you're in a job where you're taking care of other people, like you're a nurse or whatever. You also got to make sure you take care of yourself. If you're in healing work, there's a lot of like massage therapists out there, acupuncture, whatever it is. You got to take some time for you to rest, even if it's just 10 minutes a day to meditate.
re-energize.
Yes.
Re-energize, calm down. People don't realize how valuable just sitting in a chair to do a little meditation breath work for even just 10 minutes
Yeah.
can have such a profound effect on you feel it in your body.
Yeah.
You have to do it in order to understand what I'm talking about. So just try it. Set aside some time to just sit like Buddha and just be like, zen out a little bit.
They say 3 minutes of breath work is all you
Yeah.
really need. Just 3 minutes to
Yeah.
change a complete
Totally.
day. You
I
can
love
change
how
your
you
life.
said that.
To
Yeah.
reset.
Yeah.
Yeah, because 4 minutes. Okay, we got 4 minutes. We're with the breath work. Like even if you just sit there and you do, really zoned out breaths for a little while, that can lower your blood pressure and help you feel like centered. If you're in a stressful situation, before you react, we're in a society where we really dramatically react to stuff sometimes.
There you go.
Oh, look, that's
Yeah.
what does that move?
Right there, that's a spinal flex. So we're doing there.
Oh, cool.
That moves that kundalini
Spinal
like
flex,
up
yeah.
your spine, right?
Yeah,
Interesting.
absolutely. So it really
Yeah.
gets the kundalini moving.
That's awesome.
Yeah, a
And
lot
yeah,
of
so
fun.
they're kind of like a moving meditation in there.
Yeah, for sure. Those are seat drops. That's great. That's called succussing the body, right? And that gets-
Vibration or
yeah,
something?
yeah. You're succussing the body. You're breaking the carbon deposits in the joints in the body. So you drop the floor, and they're saying HUD, HUD, HUD.
What does that mean?
HUD, creative infinity. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
HUD. Yeah,
How cool.
yeah.
Like,
pretty cool.
I was like, I've never seen that move before, so I know it, like some
That's
other
really
people
fun. You could come check out a class.
on
Yeah,
the
definitely,
show.
definitely.
Yeah, we all got to do this. Like,
Mm.
I went to one of the ones at Indigo, and they had a little potluck and stuff,
Yeah.
which was really nice. So, is there any last comments, like maybe you'd want to
Oh.
make about health, meditation, or?
I mean, I think it's important we're all emphasizing just the benefits of health, and I mean, that's amazing and great and all, but I think and not to scare anyone, but it's like, we really need to condition our body, because as time goes on, before you know it, your breath is going to be more and more shallow, your body posture,
Right.
and before you'll be breathing on the ground like a
Sure.
little ball.
Right. Well, and we're on our phones all the time,
yes,
and we're
yes.
screwing up our neck posture,
Yeah.
our lower back.
Yeah.
And so you got to stretch, you got to open up your chest,
Counteract
put
it
your
all.
shoulders back, like deep breaths, move that energy up to your brain. You'll
Yeah.
feel better, I
Yeah.
promise.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. What you just said about the tension in the body. So exactly, gravity is infinitely crushing down on us, and the body
Yeah.
is going to collapse. So, and all tension, all tightness in the body is just held emotions, right? It's just tension. So as we make the body more flexible, guess what happens?
Right.
How do we show up in life?
Yeah.
More
More
flexible.
More flexible.
And as we do the
Yeah.
work in our life, and we do our yoga and our brains, meditations, we become more flexible of the mind.
Yeah.
The body, it's a reciprocal
Right.
situation. The body becomes more flexible.
Yeah.
So
The
that was-
more
yeah.
balanced and enlightened you get, the more you're able to handle those heavier
Fluidity.
days or heavier emotions and fear. Get more balance. It's such a key to life. You got to balance your workload, your family life, your chores. Balance, balance, balance. Just try to find the balance. But you got to take care of yourself to make everything else kind of go more flexible, fluid.
It's
you know?
related to the chakras too. Like you see people who are like hurting, who've been hurt in love, or been
Oh,
child.
yeah.
So they're like this because the heart chakra, they're protecting
Yeah.
the heart chakra,
I
or,
was
like this.
that.
So we do like in yoga or whatever, or just an
Open.
exercise, right? Stretch, open up that heart and
Mhm.
chest area. We do camel breaks open the chest. You
Yeah.
see people when they do camel, they break sometimes into spontaneous crying. It just because it cracked open their heart. And, you know,
Yep.
it's been all this energy that's
true.
been trapped
It's
in the
true.
center for a long time. So
Yeah.
really
okay.
powerful to open up these areas, especially the heart area,
I
the
had-
neck for the throat
yeah.
for expression.
Yeah.
I
you
had
know?
such a broken heart from my past that I had an actual lump over the apex
Yeah.
of my
Wow.
heart,
Mm.
and it was found in a healing session I was receiving. So I was able to work on that lump and broke it up, and it went away.
Beautiful.
I also added essential oils. But all right, so we got to wrap up the show. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you guys for
Yeah.
coming
Yeah,
and
thanks
for
for
your
having us.
light and
This
your
is fun.
joy. Yeah, it was
Super
great.
fun.
Great show. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
good
So
energy.
next show, be sure to tune in next Thursday at tradiov.com, 1 p.m. live Pacific time. We're going to be talking about boys. I'm going to have two ladies on here, and we're going to talk about love, dating, and relationships, do's and don'ts, and we're going to try to be as positive about it as possible. We're going to try to not hate, on the men. But so those are my next two shows, is love, dating, relationships from different perspectives. So tune in. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Mandelyn.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Yay.
If you're hungry and you need a place to stay, look into the eyes of the angel.
You are watching T Radio V, Radio and TV.